My beloved children, I know that your life is full of challenges, and it can sometimes feel as if the world around you is spinning out of control. Chaos seems to follow you everywhere, whether it's in the demands of your daily responsibilities, the pressures of your job, your family, or even the turmoil you see in the world. But I am here to tell you that no matter how chaotic your life may seem, there is a peace that surpasses all understanding, and this peace is available to you through me. You may ask, how can I find peace when everything around me is so overwhelming? The answer lies not in the circumstances of your life, but in the state of your heart. True peace is not the absence of problems or the quieting of the storms around you. True peace is the stillness within you, even in the midst of those storms. I want to show you how to cultivate that peace in your life, how to remain anchored in my love and truth, regardless of the chaos that surrounds you. Come, my child, and let me teach you the way of peace. Let us walk together through these lessons, and I will show you how to live peacefully, even in the most turbulent times. First, you must understand that true peace comes from me, not from the world. The world offers many distractions, temptations, and quick fixes, fleeting pleasures and temporary moments of calm that may give you relief for a short while. But I tell you, these solutions are like a house built on sand. When the storms of life come, and they surely will, those worldly answers will crumble. They do not have the strength to stand in the face of adversity. They leave you feeling shaken, unsteady, and vulnerable, searching for something real and lasting. The peace that I give you, however, is different. It is not based on external circumstances or fleeting emotions. It is not dependent on the success, security, or comfort that the world promises. Instead, the peace that I offer is deep, lasting, and unshakable. It is a peace that remains with you in every season of life, whether you are walking through moments of joy and abundance or through times of hardship and uncertainty. This peace is rooted in me, and I am the rock on which you can build your life. When I speak of peace, I speak of something that transcends all human understanding. It is a peace that calms your heart and mind even in the face of chaos and turmoil. Do you remember when I spoke to the storm while I was with my disciples on the Sea of Galilee? Mark 4:35-41. The wind was howling, the waves were crashing into the boat, and my disciples were terrified. They feared for their lives. But I rose, rebuked the storm, and said, "Peace, be still." Instantly, the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. That same peace is what I offer you today. It is a peace that quiets the storms within your soul, no matter how fierce the external circumstances may be. It is not a peace that depends on the absence of challenges, but rather a peace that exists even in the midst of the storm because you know that I am with you. I want you to trust that no matter what trials you face, I am in control. I am the anchor for your soul, the foundation on which you can stand firm. The world may offer you distractions to numb your pain or quick solutions to escape your problems, but these things will never bring you lasting peace. True peace does not come from avoiding your struggles or denying your pain. It comes from knowing that I am with you in the midst of them. It comes from trusting that I have a plan for you, even when the way forward seems unclear. It comes from resting in my promises and letting go of the need to control everything yourself. The peace that I give you is not fragile or fleeting. It is not based on circumstances, emotions, or anything external. Instead, it is a peace that comes from knowing me and abiding in my love. When you draw near to me, you will find that my peace floods your heart and mind, guarding you from the fear, anxiety, and doubt that so often try to take hold. This peace will carry you through even the darkest of times, for it is rooted in my unchanging nature and my eternal love for you. As I told my disciples before I returned to the Father, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." John 14:27. The peace that I give you is not like the peace the world offers. It is not temporary or dependent on your circumstances. It is a peace that can sustain you through the most difficult trials, for it is anchored in the eternal truth that I am always with you, that I love you beyond measure, and that I have overcome the world. John 16:33. To experience this peace, you must build your life on me, the rock, and not on the shifting sands of the world. The world will try to convince you that peace comes from wealth, success, status, or material comfort. But these things are fleeting and uncertain. They will not last, and they will not satisfy the deepest longings of your heart. When you place your trust in these worldly things, you are building your life on a foundation that will eventually crumble under pressure. Instead, I invite you to build your life on me. I am the solid foundation that will never fail you. When the storms of life come, and they will come, you will not be shaken because you are standing on the rock. My peace is a gift to you, and all you have to do is receive it. You do not have to earn it or work for it. It is my gift to you, freely given out of my love for you. When you place your trust in me, you open your heart to receive the peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that guards your heart and mind in every circumstance. Philippians 4:7. But how do you build your life on me? It begins with trusting in my promises and surrendering your life to me. When you choose to trust me with every part of your life, your hopes, your fears, your plans, your relationships, you are laying a strong foundation. When you come to me in prayer, seeking my guidance and resting in my presence, you are strengthening that foundation. When you immerse yourself in my word, allowing my truth to shape your thoughts and actions, you are building your life on the rock. And as you walk with me, you will see that my peace is not just something you experience in quiet moments of prayer or reflection. It is a peace that you carry with you into every aspect of your life. It is a peace that flows from the inside out, affecting the way you respond to challenges, the way you interact with others, and the way you view the world. Even when life feels chaotic and uncertain, my peace will anchor you, reminding you that I am in control and that my love for you never wavers. So, my child, come to me and let me fill you with my peace. Do not seek peace in the temporary things of this world, for they will only leave you empty. Seek me, and you will find the lasting peace that your heart longs for. I am the rock on which you can build your life, and I will never let you fall. Trust in me, and you will experience a peace that no storm can shake, a peace that is grounded in my love, my faithfulness, and my eternal presence with you. As I said to my disciples, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. John 14:27. These words are as true for you now as they were for my disciples long ago. The peace I offer is not a fleeting sense of calm that depends on external conditions. It does not waver when life gets difficult or when the storms of uncertainty rage. This peace is unshakable, eternal, and rooted in my love for you. It is not the kind of peace that the world offers, because the world's peace is fragile, temporary, and based on circumstances that can change in an instant. The world may promise you peace through wealth, success, or security, but these things can never truly satisfy the longing in your heart for lasting peace. The peace the world gives is conditional, dependent on the presence of ease and the absence of hardship. It is the kind of peace that crumbles when difficulties arise, when relationships are strained, or when things do not go according to plan. But the peace that I give is different. It is not dependent on what is happening around you. It is a peace that flows from within, rooted in your trust in me and my promises. I offer this peace to you freely as a gift. You do not have to earn it or strive for it. It is not something you must chase or work tirelessly to achieve. It is my gift to you, given out of my deep love and care for you. All you have to do is receive it. Receive it with an open heart, trusting that I am with you, guiding you, and providing for you in every season of life. So many of you are burdened with worry and anxiety. You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, trying to control every outcome, trying to solve every problem on your own. But I am here to remind you that you do not need to carry these burdens alone. My peace is available to you if you will only come to me. Lay your burdens at my feet and trust that I am in control. When I offer you peace, I am offering you rest for your soul. Do you remember when I said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. This is my promise to you. I know the struggles you face, the fears that weigh on your heart, and the uncertainty that fills your mind. But I also know that I am greater than any of these things. When you trust in me, you can let go of the need to control every detail of your life and instead rest in the assurance that I am working all things for your good. The peace I give is not just a feeling, it is a deep, abiding state of the heart and mind. It is the confidence that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you are secure in my love. This peace allows you to face trials with courage, knowing that I am with you in the storm. It gives you the strength to persevere through difficulties without being consumed by fear or worry. Think of the many times my disciples faced challenges, confusion, and fear. After I had ascended to the Father, they were left to carry my message to the world, often facing persecution, rejection, and hardship. But even in the face of these overwhelming challenges, they found peace in knowing that I had left them with my peace, the same peace that I offer to you today. They did not rely on their own strength or understanding, but trusted in my presence and my promise to be with them always. And this peace is not just for extraordinary moments of crisis. It is for the everyday struggles, the small anxieties, and the constant pressures of life. I know that your daily life is filled with challenges, whether it's balancing work and family, dealing with difficult relationships, or navigating uncertainty about the future. But even in these daily struggles, my peace can sustain you. When you are tempted to feel overwhelmed, turn to me. Let my peace fill your heart and mind, knowing that I am guiding your steps and that nothing is beyond my reach. The peace I give will guard your heart and mind. It acts as a shield against the fears and worries that try to creep in and steal your joy. As the Apostle Paul wrote, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Philippians 7. This is the peace that transcends understanding. It doesn't always make sense from the world's perspective, because it is a peace that remains even when circumstances seem uncertain or difficult. It is a peace that comes from being connected to me, the source of all peace. The peace I give is not fragile. It will not be shaken by the storms of life because it is rooted in my eternal truth. I have overcome the world, and in me you can have peace. John 16:33. You do not need to fear what tomorrow will bring, for I hold your future in my hands. You do not need to fear the unknown, for I am the one who knows all things. You do not need to fear the trials that may come, for I will be with you, strengthening you, and giving you the grace you need for every challenge. But to experience this peace, you must choose to trust me. You must choose to surrender your worries, your fears, and your need to control, and place them in my hands. You must open your heart to receive the gift that I am offering you. So often, people hold on to their anxieties, not because they want to, but because they do not know how to let go. But I invite you to let go today. Let go of the things that weigh you down and receive my peace in return. This peace is available to you at all times, in every situation. It is not reserved for moments of prayer or quiet reflection. It is a peace that you can carry with you into every aspect of your life. Whether you are facing a difficult decision, going through a season of loss, or simply navigating the pressures of everyday life, my peace will be with you, guiding you and sustaining you. So, my beloved, do not let your heart be troubled. Do not be afraid. I am with you, and I have given you my peace. It is a peace that the world cannot give, and the world cannot take away. It is a peace that will strengthen you, comfort you, and guard your heart and mind through every season of life. Receive this gift with an open heart, and let it transform the way you live, the way you think, and the way you face the challenges of this world. But how do you receive this peace? It begins with trusting me. Trust is the foundation upon which peace is built, And it is only when you place your full trust in me that you can experience the peace that I freely offer. When you trust in me, you are making a decision to let go of your need to control every aspect of your life. You are choosing to surrender your fears, your worries, and your uncertainties into my hands, and in return, you receive the peace that surpasses all understanding. I know that life can be uncertain, and there will be times when you don't understand why things are happening the way they are. You may face challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, and in those moments, it may feel as though you are standing on shaky ground. But I want you to know that even when life feels uncertain, I am in control of every situation. I am the one who holds the universe in my hands, and I am also the one who holds your life. Nothing happens outside of my will, and nothing escapes my notice. When you place your trust in me, you are acknowledging that I see the bigger picture. You may not always understand the path that your life is taking, but I do. I see the beginning and the end. I see the struggles you are going through now, and I also see the blessings that are waiting for you ahead. I see the pain that you are experiencing, and I also see the healing that is coming. I see the unanswered questions, and I already know the answers. I am not bound by time as you are. I exist outside of time, and I know the full story of your life from start to finish. When you trust in me, you are saying, Lord, I may not understand, but I trust that you do. You are choosing to believe that I am working all things together for your good, Romans 8:28, even when you cannot yet see how it all fits together. Trusting in me is an act of faith. It is a declaration that you believe in my goodness, my wisdom, and my perfect plan for your life. Surrendering control is not easy. I understand that. You are used to trying to manage every detail of your life, and the idea of letting go can feel scary or even impossible. But I want you to know that when you surrender control to me, you are not losing anything. You are gaining everything. You are gaining the assurance that I am working on your behalf, that I am guiding your steps, and that I am bringing you into a future that is filled with hope. When you trust in me, you will begin to experience a deep sense of calm that can only come from surrender. This calm is not the absence of difficulties, but the presence of my peace in the midst of them. It is the knowledge that no matter what happens, I am with you. It is the confidence that even when the path is difficult, I am walking beside you, leading you through it. This is the peace that comes from knowing that you are not alone, that you are not abandoned, and that you are not left to navigate the challenges of life on your own. Remember when Peter walked on water? As long as he kept his eyes on me, he was able to walk on the water without sinking, even though the storm raged around him. But the moment he took his eyes off of me and focused on the waves, he began to sink. Matthew 14:29-30. This is a powerful lesson for you as well. When you keep your eyes on me, when you trust in my power and my love, you will rise above the storms of life. The waves may crash, the wind may howl, but you will not be overcome. But when you take your eyes off of me, when you allow fear and doubt to fill your heart, that is when you will begin to sink. Trust is the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. It is the firm foundation that allows you to stand strong, even when everything around you feels uncertain. And trust is a choice. It is something that you must choose daily, even when it is difficult. Trust does not mean that you will always understand my ways, but it does mean that you will choose to believe in my goodness and my faithfulness, even when you don't have all the answers. I know that there will be moments when you are tempted to worry or to fear. There will be times when you feel overwhelmed by the weight of your responsibilities or by the uncertainties of the future. But in those moments, I invite you to come to me. Bring your fears to me and lay them at my feet. I will take your burdens and exchange them for my peace. I will remind you that I am in control, that I am working all things together for your good, and that you can trust me completely. This peace that I give you is not something that you have to work for or earn. It is my gift to you, a gift that flows from my love for you. All you have to do is receive it, but receiving it requires trust. It requires letting go of the need to figure everything out on your own and allowing me to be the one who guides you, protects you, and provides for you. It requires surrendering your plans, your fears, and your desires to me, knowing that my plans for you are better than anything you could imagine. As you trust in me more fully, you will find that my peace begins to fill every corner of your heart and mind. You will no longer be tossed back and forth by the waves of life, because your trust in me will be your anchor. You will no longer be consumed by worry because you know that I am in control. You will no longer be overwhelmed by fear because you trust that I am working all things together for your good. So, my beloved child, I invite you to trust in me today. Let go of the things that are weighing you down and receive the peace that I am offering you. Trust that I see the bigger picture, that I am in control, and that I am working on your behalf. Place your life, your heart, and your future in my hands, and watch as my peace fills your soul. So the first step to living peacefully in the midst of chaos is to place your trust in me. Trusting in me is more than just acknowledging my existence. It is an active decision to rely on my guidance, my wisdom, and my constant presence in your life. When you trust that I am with you, guiding you, and providing for you, you will find peace in knowing that you are never alone. It is this trust that becomes the foundation upon which true peace is built, a peace that is not shaken by the circumstances around you or the uncertainty of the world. In life, chaos will inevitably come. There will be trials, disruptions, and moments of confusion. But your ability to remain peaceful in the midst of that chaos depends on your confidence in me. The world may seem unpredictable, and situations may arise that feel overwhelming, but I want you to remember that I am with you always. I have promised, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. This promise is your assurance that no matter what you are facing, you are not facing it alone. When you trust in my presence, you gain a sense of inner calm that transcends the turmoil around you. Trusting in me is like standing on solid ground in the middle of a storm. The winds may howl, the waves may crash, and the storm may rage, but you remain secure because you know that I am your refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalm 46:1. This trust in my care and protection becomes your anchor, keeping you steady when everything else feels uncertain. Trusting me also means recognizing that I am in control of every aspect of your life. I am not a distant observer, watching from afar. I am intimately involved in every detail of your journey. I know your needs, your fears, your hopes, and your struggles, and I am actively working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. When you trust in my sovereignty, you no longer have to carry the weight of trying to control everything. You can release the need to fix every problem, solve every issue, or predict every outcome, because you know that I am already at work on your behalf. Trust is the key that unlocks the door to peace. The more you trust me, the more you will experience my peace in your life. Trusting me means believing that even when the path ahead is unclear, I am leading you in the right direction. It means surrendering your worries and fears, knowing that I am holding your future in my hands. Trusting in my plan does not mean that you will never face difficulties, but it does mean that you can face those difficulties with confidence, knowing that I am with you every step of the way. One of the most powerful examples of trust in the midst of chaos is the story of Peter walking on water, Matthew 14:28-31. Peter, full of faith, stepped out of the boat and walked toward me on the water. As long as he kept his eyes on me and trusted in my power, he was able to do the impossible. He walked on the waves, even as the storm raged around him. But the moment he took his eyes off of me and focused on the wind and the waves, he began to sink. Fear overtook him because he shifted his trust from me to the chaos around him. This story teaches a profound truth. When your trust is in me, you can rise above the storms of life. The chaos may still be there, the challenges may still exist, but they do not have the power to overwhelm you when you are anchored in trust. However, when you focus on the chaos instead of focusing on me, fear and doubt can creep in, and you begin to feel as though you are sinking. But even in those moments, I am there to reach out and catch you, just as I did for Peter. I will never let you drown in your fears, or be overcome by your circumstances as long as you continue to reach out to me in trust. Trust also requires surrender. It means releasing your grip on your own plans, timelines, and expectations, and allowing me to lead you according to my perfect will. I know this can be difficult, especially when you feel like you need to have everything under control, but I want you to know that true peace comes not from controlling your circumstances, but from surrendering them to me. When you trust that I am working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your good and my glory, you can let go of the need to constantly strive and worry. In surrender, you find rest. In Psalm 23, the psalmist speaks of this peace that comes from trusting in me as the Good Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, 1-3. This is the peace that trust brings, a peace that leads you to still waters, a peace that restores your soul, a peace that comes from knowing that I am the shepherd who cares for you and provides for your every need. Even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you do not need to fear, because I am with you. Psalm 23, 4. The chaos around you cannot shake the confidence you have in my care and protection. When you are anchored in trust, you can face the storms of life with a heart that is calm and at peace. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but you know that I hold tomorrow. You may not understand why certain things are happening, but you trust that I see the bigger picture, and I am working all things according to my divine plan. The world may offer you many temporary solutions to deal with chaos, distractions, entertainment, or worldly success, but none of these things will give you lasting peace. The peace that I offer comes from a place much deeper. It comes from the assurance that you are loved, protected, and cared for by the one who created you and who holds all things in his hands. This peace is not fragile or fleeting. It is enduring because it is based on my unchanging nature. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13:8. So, when life feels overwhelming and the storms of chaos surround you, I invite you to come to me and place your trust in me. Rest in the knowledge that I am with you, guiding you through every season and providing for your every need. Let my peace fill your heart and let go of the worries that weigh you down. I am your rock, your refuge, and your strong tower. In me, you will find the peace that your heart longs for. No matter what you are going through, remember that I am always with you, and you are never alone. You are held in the palm of my hand, and nothing can separate you from my love. When you trust in me, the chaos around you loses its power to shake you, because your confidence is not in the things of this world, but in me, the one who holds all things together. Let this trust be the anchor of your soul, and you will find peace in the midst of any storm. One of the greatest obstacles to peace is worry. I know how easily worry can fill your heart, whether it's concern about your future, your family, your finances, or your health. Worry has a way of creeping into your thoughts and consuming your mind, drawing your attention away from the present moment and placing it squarely on what might happen. Worry is like a thief. It steals your joy, robs you of your peace, and distracts you from the life I've called you to live. But I am here to tell you that worry does not add a single hour to your life. In fact, it only drains you of the strength and peace you need for today. I understand that it is easy to worry when life feels uncertain. The world is filled with challenges and unknowns, and the future often feels like a vast landscape of what-ifs. You wonder what tomorrow will bring, and sometimes those thoughts lead to anxiety about whether you will have enough time, enough resources, enough health, enough strength. But I want to remind you that I am the one who holds your future, and I know every detail of your life, from beginning to end. Do you remember what I said in the Sermon on the Mount? Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Matthew 6:25-26. When you worry, you focus on what might go wrong or what you might lack. But I want you to focus on my care and provision. Look at the birds of the air. Do they worry about their next meal? Do they spend their days in anxious toil, wondering whether they will have enough to sustain them? No, they simply live, trusting that their Creator will provide for them. And if I care for the birds, how much more do I care for you, my precious child? You are far more valuable than the birds or the flowers of the field, and I know all of your needs before you even ask. When you worry, it is often because you are carrying burdens that were never meant to be yours to carry. You take on the weight of trying to control every detail of your life, of trying to solve every problem and plan for every possibility. But this is not how I intended for you to live. I want you to release your burdens to me, to cast your cares upon me, because I care for you. 1 Peter chapter 5:7. When you trust me with your needs, you free yourself from the heavy burden of worry and make room for my peace to fill your heart. Worry is a form of fear, and fear comes from focusing on what you cannot control. But I invite you to shift your focus. Instead of looking at the uncertainties of life, I want you to look at me. Fix your eyes on my faithfulness, my love, and my promises. I am the one who has sustained you through every trial, the one who has provided for your needs in ways you may not have even noticed. When you remember who I am and how deeply I care for you, worry begins to lose its power over your heart and mind. Let me ask you a question. How has worry ever helped you? Has it ever solved a problem, added more time to your day, or brought you peace? No, it hasn't. Worry is a cycle that leads nowhere. It keeps you focused on what might go wrong, but it never actually fixes anything. In fact, it only makes the burden heavier. But I am here to tell you that you do not need to carry that burden. I am here to carry it for you. When you place your trust in me, you will find that my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:30. I will sustain you, guide you, and provide for your every need. Prayer is the key to releasing worry and embracing peace. When you feel overwhelmed by life's demands, come to me in prayer. Pour out your heart before me. Tell me about your fears, your concerns, and your needs. You don't need to hide anything from me, for I already know what weighs on your heart. But when you bring those worries to me, you create space for me to fill you with my peace. Prayer is a divine exchange. When you offer your worries to me, I give you my peace in return. As the Apostle Paul wrote, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Philippians 4:6-7. This is a powerful promise. When you come to me with your worries in prayer and with a heart of thanksgiving, my peace will guard your heart and mind. This peace is beyond human understanding, for it is not based on your circumstances. It is rooted in my presence with you. It's important to understand that this exchange of worry for peace is not a one-time event, but a daily practice. Every time anxiety rises within you, every time worry tries to take over your thoughts, I invite you to bring it to me. Come to me again and again, as often as you need, and I will always be here to receive your burdens and give you my peace in return. You don't have to carry these worries alone, not even for a moment. This is why I told you, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. When you are weary from the weight of your concerns, come to me. I will give you rest for your soul, a peace that the world cannot give and the world cannot take away. John 14:27. My peace is not temporary or fragile. It is enduring and unshakable, because it comes from the assurance that I am with you, that I am in control, and that I am working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. Think of Mary and Martha. Luke 10:38-42. Martha was busy with all the preparations, distracted by all that had to be done. She was rushing around trying to meet every need and take care of every detail. But Mary chose to sit at my feet and listen to my words. Martha was frustrated, thinking that her busyness was the most important thing, but I told her that Mary had chosen what was better. In the same way, I invite you to choose what is better, to pause from the busyness of life and simply rest in my presence. You may feel like you have too much to do, too many responsibilities, too many things demanding your attention. You may feel like you don't have time to rest, but I want to remind you that time spent in my presence is never wasted. In fact, it is the most valuable time you can spend. When you take time to rest in me, I will equip you for the tasks ahead. I will fill you with the peace and strength you need to face each day. It is in rest that you are renewed. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." When you wait on me, when you rest in my presence, your strength is renewed. You will find that you are able to face the challenges of life with greater endurance, with a heart that is at peace, and with a mind that is clear and focused. Resting in my presence also teaches you to trust me more deeply. When you allow yourself to rest, you are saying, "Lord, I trust that you are in control. I trust that you are taking care of everything, and I don't have to strive in my own strength." This trust brings freedom. It frees you from the anxiety and pressure of trying to do everything on your own. It frees you from the fear of falling behind or missing out. When you rest in me, you are reminded that I am the one who holds all things together. Colossians 1:17. Rest is an act of faith. It's a declaration that you believe I am enough, that my provision is sufficient, that my timing is perfect. It is a way of acknowledging that you are not the one in control. I am. And when you rest in me, you experience the peace that comes from trusting in my goodness and faithfulness. In this fast-paced world, I am calling you to slow down. I am calling you to resist the pull of constant activity, to step away from the noise, and to find rest for your soul in my presence. This rest is not just for your body, but for your heart, your mind, and your spirit. It is a rest that brings healing, renewal, and restoration. It is a rest that allows you to lay down your burdens and simply be with me, knowing that I am the one who sustains you. So, my beloved, come to me. Come to me when you are weary, when you feel like you can't keep up, when you are overwhelmed by the demands of life. Come and find rest in my presence. I will give you the peace that your heart longs for, the strength that your body needs, and the renewal that your spirit craves. In me, you will find rest for your soul. When you take time to be still in my presence, you reconnect with the deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing that I am with you always. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to lose sight of that truth, to feel as though you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, as though every problem, every responsibility, and every burden rests squarely on you. But I want you to know that you do not have to carry these burdens alone. I never intended for you to bear the weight of the world on your own. I am here to walk with you, to help you, and to carry the heaviest burdens for you. When you pause, when you stop striving and trying to manage everything in your own strength, you create space for me to step in. You allow me to bear those burdens with you, to provide for you, to guide you, and to bring the peace your soul longs for. This peace is not something you have to earn or work for. It is my gift to you. It is available to you when you choose to slow down and rest in my presence. Being still in my presence is not just about physical stillness. It is about stillness of the heart and mind. It is the choice to quiet the noise, the distractions, and the anxious thoughts that constantly pull you away from me. It is about creating space for your heart to hear my voice, for your soul to breathe in the peace that I offer. And in that stillness, in that moment of quiet trust, you will find that my peace fills you, not because the problems have disappeared, but because you are reminded that I am with you, and I am in control. You don't need to have all the answers. I am the one who sees the beginning and the end. You don't need to figure everything out on your own because I am your guide. When you rest in my presence, you surrender the need to understand everything or to control everything. You release your worries, your anxieties, and your fears into my capable hands, and in return, I give you my peace. a peace that is beyond understanding, a peace that anchors you in the storms of life. Take time each day to rest in me. This is not a suggestion, but an invitation to a deeper way of living, a way of living that is grounded in trust, faith, and dependence on me. Resting in me can take many forms, through prayer, reading my word, or simply sitting in silence, allowing your heart to settle in my presence. In each of these moments, you are choosing to draw near to me, to place your burdens at my feet, and to allow my peace to fill your heart. When you come to me in prayer, you are not just bringing a list of requests or concerns. You are entering into communion with me, opening your heart, sharing your deepest thoughts, and allowing me to speak to your soul. In these moments of prayer, you will often find that my peace begins to wash over you, calming the fears that once felt overwhelming, replacing them with the assurance that I am with you. When you open my word, you are not just reading for knowledge, you are feeding your soul with the truth that brings peace. My word is a source of life, and it reminds you of who I am and what I have promised. As you meditate on my word, you are reminded that I am faithful, that I am for you, and that I am working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. This truth has the power to still the restless thoughts in your mind and to bring clarity and direction to your heart. In my word, you will find that I am a God of peace and that I long to share that peace with you. And sometimes, resting in my presence simply means sitting in silence, without an agenda, without words, without the need to accomplish anything. In a world that constantly demands action and achievement, it is in this quiet stillness that you allow your heart to simply rest in the knowledge of my love for you. Silence can be uncomfortable at first, but it is in the silence that you will often hear the gentle whisper of my voice, speaking peace into your soul. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. In these moments of rest, your soul is renewed. The weariness that once weighed you down begins to lift as you find that my strength becomes your strength, my peace becomes your peace. You are reminded that I am not just the God of the universe. I am the God who knows you intimately, who cares about every detail of your life, and who is always with you. This renewal does not come from simply stopping your physical activity. It comes from the deep spiritual refreshment that happens when you are in communion with me. When you rest in me, you are filled with peace, peace that goes beyond your circumstances, beyond the noise of the world, beyond the demands of life. This peace is not something that comes from having everything in your life perfectly aligned or having all the answers. It comes from knowing that I am with you, guiding you, and providing for you every step of the way. It is a peace that is rooted in trust, trust in my goodness, trust in my faithfulness, trust that I will never leave you nor forsake you. This peace is not fragile or temporary. It is not dependent on how well things are going in your life. It is a peace that remains, even in the midst of challenges and difficulties, because it is anchored in my presence. The world may offer distractions or temporary relief, but only in me will you find the lasting peace that your soul craves. As you make resting in my presence a daily practice, you will find that this peace begins to permeate every area of your life. The more time you spend in my presence, the more peace becomes a natural part of who you are. It becomes the lens through which you see the world, the foundation upon which you make decisions, and the anchor that holds you steady in the storms of life. You will no longer be tossed about by every worry or fear, because your heart will be rooted in the peace that comes from knowing me and trusting in my care. So, my beloved child, I invite you to rest in me. Make time each day to draw near to me, to lay your burdens at my feet, and to allow my peace to fill your heart. You do not have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. I am here to bear your burdens with you. In my presence you will find the peace that you are longing for, the peace that the world cannot give, and the peace that will sustain you through every season of life. Come to me, and let your soul find rest. The chaos of life can so easily distract you from spending time with me. I know the demands on your time and energy seem endless. There are responsibilities pulling you in every direction, and it often feels like you are constantly rushing from one task to the next. Whether it's the obligations of work, the needs of your family, the pressures of financial concerns, or the distractions of the digital world, there is always something vying for your attention. In the midst of this busyness, it can be difficult to remember to pause, to be still, and to spend time in my presence. But I urge you to make it a priority. Your life was not meant to be lived in a state of constant motion. You were not created to be caught up in the whirlwind of endless activity and busyness. There is so much more I want for you, so much more peace, so much more joy, so much more rest. But these can only be found when you make the intentional choice to step away from the noise of life and rest in my presence. I long for you to spend time with me, not because I need it, but because you do. When you set aside time to rest in my presence, you create space for your heart to be reminded of what truly matters. You are reminded of my love, a love that is unconditional, steadfast, and unchanging. In the midst of a world that often feels unstable and uncertain, my love is the one thing that remains constant. Spending time with me allows you to quiet the distractions and listen to my voice, where I tell you again and again, you are loved, you are my child, I care for you deeply. This love is not something you have to earn or prove. It is a gift I give freely to you. When you rest in my love, your soul is refreshed and your heart is renewed. You are also reminded of my guidance, the gentle leading that comes when you trust me to direct your steps. I know that life can often feel overwhelming, that you are faced with decisions that seem too difficult and paths that seem unclear. But when you spend time with me, you open yourself up to receive my wisdom and direction. I am the Good Shepherd, and I will always guide you on the right path if you allow me. When you rest in my presence, you tune out the voices of confusion, doubt, and fear, and you begin to hear my voice, the voice that says, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. My guidance brings clarity where there is uncertainty and peace where there is confusion. It is in these moments of stillness with me that you are reminded you do not have to navigate life on your own. I am with you, leading and guiding you every step of the way. My protection is another thing I want you to be reminded of when you rest in me. The world is full of challenges, dangers, and uncertainties, and it is easy to feel vulnerable or anxious. But when you rest in my presence, you are reminded that I am your protector. I am the one who goes before you, who walks beside you, and who stands behind you. In me you are safe. No matter what you face, you can rest in the assurance that I am watching over you. I am your refuge, your fortress, and your shield. Psalm 91, 2-4. When you spend time with me, I will remind you again and again that you do not need to fear, for I am with you, and I will protect you from all harm. This rest is not just a momentary pause or a brief escape from your responsibilities. It is the source of strength and peace you need to face the challenges of life. The demands of life will continue. The pressures and difficulties you face will not simply disappear. But when you take time to rest in my presence, you are equipped with the strength and peace you need to navigate those challenges with confidence and grace. Resting in me allows you to face life's challenges from a place of peace rather than anxiety, from a place of confidence rather than fear. You are not meant to walk through life constantly stressed, overwhelmed, or burnt out. I want you to experience the fullness of life, the joy, the peace, the purpose that comes from living in my presence. But this can only happen when you prioritize time with me, when you intentionally set aside moments to be still, to rest, and to let me fill you with what you need. You may wonder how you can find the time to rest in me when life is already so busy, but I want you to know that time spent in my presence is never wasted. In fact, it is the most important investment you can make in your life. When you make time for me, I will multiply your time. I will give you the clarity, wisdom, and strength you need to be more effective in all the areas of your life. The peace you gain from resting in me will enable you to approach your responsibilities with a calm mind and a steady heart, rather than feeling overwhelmed or stressed. You will find that as you prioritize time with me, the rest of your life falls into place more smoothly because you are operating from a place of peace and not chaos. In these moments of rest, I will also remind you of your worth and identity. The world often pressures you to define yourself by what you do, what you accomplish, or what others think of you. But I want you to remember that your worth comes from who you are in me. You are my beloved child, created in my image, and your value is not tied to your achievements or your productivity. Resting in my presence reminds you of this truth. It reminds you that you are enough, not because of what you do, but because of who I am and how much I love you. This truth brings a deep sense of peace and freedom. When you rest in my presence, you are free from the constant striving, free from the need to prove yourself or earn approval. You are free to simply be, resting in my love, trusting in my care, and receiving my grace. This freedom from striving allows you to live with a sense of peace and contentment that the world cannot offer. So, my beloved, I invite you to make time with me a priority. Do not allow the chaos of life to pull you away from what matters most. Come to me daily, bring your worries, your burdens, and your weariness, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Let me remind you of my love, my guidance, and my protection. Let me fill your heart with the peace that only I can give. And as you rest in my presence, you will find that you are renewed, strengthened, and ready to face the challenges of life with confidence and grace. Gratitude is another key to living peacefully in the midst of chaos. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you shift your perspective from what is lacking to what is already present in your life. This simple shift can transform how you experience the world around you. Gratitude opens your heart and mind to the blessings that surround you, even in the midst of difficulties. It allows you to see beyond the challenges and to recognize the many ways in which I am working in your life, offering you grace, provision, and love in every season. So often, in the face of chaos, it is easy to focus on what is missing, what is wrong, or what is not going according to plan. It is easy to become overwhelmed by the problems that demand your attention and by the things that seem to be lacking. But I invite you to take a different approach. Instead of focusing on the challenges, focus on what you have been given. Begin to count your blessings, no matter how small they may seem. This act of gratitude will shift your heart from a place of frustration and anxiety to a place of peace and contentment. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice, a habit of the heart that you cultivate daily. It is the decision to turn your attention away from what is missing and instead to give thanks for what is already present. Gratitude is a way of acknowledging my goodness in your life, of recognizing that even in the midst of trials, I am with you, providing for you and sustaining you. Do you remember the story of the 10 lepers? Luke 17:11-19. 10 were healed, but only one returned to give thanks. This wasn't just a story about physical healing, it was a lesson about the importance of gratitude. The one who returned understood that the healing he had received was not something to be taken for granted. He recognized my goodness, and he came back to thank me. In doing so, he experienced not only physical healing, but a deeper spiritual peace that came from his gratitude. Gratitude aligns your heart with the goodness that is already present in your life. When you give thanks, you are acknowledging that every good gift comes from me, and you are opening your heart to receive even more of my blessings. This act of recognition brings peace because it reminds you that you are not alone, that I am always with you, and that my love and provision never fail. Gratitude also has the power to change the way you experience difficult circumstances. It doesn't mean that you ignore the challenges or pretend that they don't exist, but it allows you to see those challenges in a new light. When you approach life with a grateful heart, you begin to see how even in the hardest moments, I am still present, still working, still providing. You begin to recognize the small blessings that might otherwise go unnoticed, the kindness of a friend, the beauty of creation, the comfort of my presence. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to anxiety and worry. When your mind is consumed with worry, it is easy to overlook the good things that are happening around you. Worry narrows your focus to what is wrong, but gratitude expands your vision to see what is right. It opens your eyes to the ways I am already working in your life, reminding you that I am faithful, that I care for you, and that I am providing for your needs. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from fear to trust. When you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you become more aware of my presence in your life. You begin to see how I am walking with you through every season, through times of joy and times of difficulty. You start to recognize that my hand is guiding you, even when the path is unclear. Gratitude helps you see the bigger picture, reminding you that I am working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. In times of chaos, gratitude can be the anchor that keeps you grounded. When everything around you feels uncertain or overwhelming, taking a moment to give thanks can bring you back to a place of peace. It reminds you that, no matter what is happening, there is still goodness in your life. There is still something to be grateful for. This attitude of gratitude does not ignore the chaos, but it allows you to rise above it, to focus on my faithfulness and the blessings I have placed in your life. Gratitude also has a ripple effect. It spreads peace not only within you, but also to those around you. When you express gratitude, you reflect my love and goodness to others. Your gratitude can be a source of encouragement and joy for the people in your life. When you thank others, you acknowledge their kindness and affirm their efforts, creating a sense of connection and shared grace. Gratitude has the power to transform not only your own heart, but the hearts of those around you. In cultivating gratitude, you are choosing to live with open eyes and an open heart. You are choosing to see the blessings that are already present and to trust that more blessings will come. You are choosing to recognize that, even in the chaos, I am good, and my plans for you are filled with hope. Gratitude keeps you connected to the truth that I am always with you, guiding you, protecting you, and providing for you. When you practice gratitude, you also cultivate contentment. The world constantly tells you that you need more success, more possessions, more achievements. But gratitude teaches you to be content with what you have, to recognize that what you have been given is enough. Contentment brings peace, because it frees you from the constant striving for more and allows you to rest in the abundance that is already yours. Gratitude is not about ignoring your desires or pretending that you don't have needs. It's about trusting that I will provide for your needs in my perfect timing. When you give thanks for what you have, you are expressing faith in my provision, trusting that I know what is best for you and that I am working on your behalf. Gratitude is an act of faith, a way of saying, Lord, I trust you. I trust that you are good, and I thank you for all you have given me. So, my beloved, I invite you to make gratitude a daily practice in your life. Take time each day to reflect on the blessings you have received, no matter how small they may seem. Give thanks for my love, my guidance, and my provision. As you do, you will find that your heart begins to fill with peace, and the chaos around you loses its power to overwhelm you. Gratitude will become your anchor, grounding you in my goodness and keeping your heart at peace, no matter what challenges you face. Remember, I am always with you, and I am always working for your good. Let gratitude be the lens through which you see the world, and you will begin to notice my presence in every part of your life. You will find that, even in the midst of difficulty, there is always something to be grateful for, always a reason to give thanks. And as you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you will experience the peace that comes from knowing that I am good, that I love you, and that I am always with you. Even in the midst of chaos, there is always something to be thankful for. It may not always be immediately apparent when life feels overwhelming or when you're facing difficult circumstances, but gratitude has the power to shift your focus, allowing you to see my presence and my provision even in the darkest of times. Sometimes it may be something as simple as the love of your family, the beauty of creation that surrounds you, or even the gift of another day to live and breathe. When you choose to give thanks for these blessings, you invite my peace into your heart. Gratitude is not about denying the struggles you face or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it's about recognizing that even in the midst of those struggles, I am with you. It's about acknowledging that my hand is always at work in your life, providing for your needs, offering you comfort, and giving you strength to endure whatever challenges come your way. By giving thanks, you remind yourself of my faithfulness and my unchanging love for you. You remind yourself that I have never abandoned you and that I never will. Gratitude serves as a bridge that connects your heart to my presence, even when the storms of life seem relentless. Think of Paul's words in 1 Thessalonians 5:18, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." Notice that Paul did not say to give thanks for all circumstances, but in all circumstances. This means that even when life is hard, even when things don't make sense, or when you're walking through difficult seasons, you can still find reasons to give thanks. You can thank me for my love, my grace, and my presence with you in the storm. You can thank me for the ways I am sustaining you and providing for you, even when things feel uncertain. Gratitude is not just an outward expression, it is a posture of the heart. When you choose to practice gratitude, you are choosing to shift your attention away from what is lacking or what is challenging, and instead, you are focusing on the blessings that are already present in your life. This shift in focus has the power to lift your spirit and dispel negativity. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, the shadows of fear, doubt, and frustration begin to fade away as the light of gratitude shines through. Gratitude lifts you out of the pit of despair and brings you into the light of hope. It reminds you that no matter how difficult things may seem, there is always something to be thankful for because I am always with you. Even in the smallest blessings, you can find my fingerprints, my presence, and my care for you. Whether it's the simple joy of a kind word from a friend, the beauty of a sunset, or the warmth of a hug, each of these moments is a reminder that you are not alone and that I am walking beside you. When you give thanks, you are not just offering words of gratitude, you are opening your heart to receive more of my peace. Gratitude opens the door for my peace to enter your life, calming your anxious thoughts and steadying your heart. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you create space in your heart for my peace to dwell, even in the middle of chaos. In fact, gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have to overcome anxiety, worry, and fear. When you give thanks, you shift your perspective from focusing on the problems to recognizing the blessings that I have already placed in your life. Consider the story of the Israelites in the wilderness. They had been delivered from slavery in Egypt, had witnessed my miracles, and had been provided for every step of the way. Yet time and time again, they grumbled and complained about their circumstances. Instead of focusing on the miraculous provision of manna, water from the rock, and my constant guidance through the pillars of cloud and fire, they allowed themselves to dwell on what they lacked. Their lack of gratitude led to a restless and anxious spirit. But I invite you to respond differently. I invite you to recognize that even in difficult seasons, I am working all things together for your good. Romans chapter 8:28. When you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you align yourself with my will, because it is my desire for you to experience peace, joy, and contentment, regardless of your circumstances. Gratitude aligns your heart with mine, allowing you to experience the deep peace that comes from trusting in my goodness. Gratitude also fosters resilience. It helps you to see beyond your immediate circumstances and to remember that I am working in your life in ways that you may not yet fully understand. When you give thanks, even in the midst of pain or uncertainty, you build your faith. You remind yourself that I have been faithful before, and I will be faithful again. Gratitude strengthens your trust in me because it is an expression of faith that says, even though things may be difficult right now, I trust that you are good, and I trust that you are with me. In the story of the 10 lepers, Luke 17:11-19, only one returned to give thanks after being healed. This one man recognized that his healing was not just a matter of physical restoration, but an expression of my grace and goodness. His gratitude opened his heart to receive more than just physical healing. It opened him to a deeper connection with me. Gratitude has the power to do the same for you. When you give thanks, you open your heart to a deeper awareness of my presence in your life, and that awareness brings peace. Gratitude also changes the atmosphere around you. When you are grateful, you bring a sense of joy and positivity into your environment. Your gratitude can inspire others, uplift those who are struggling, and create a ripple effect of peace and contentment in your relationships. Just as negativity and complaining can spread and bring down the mood of those around you, so too can gratitude spread joy and peace. In moments when you feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, I encourage you to pause and intentionally look for something to be grateful for. No matter how difficult things may seem, there is always something, a small blessing, a moment of grace, a sign of my provision. By focusing on those blessings, you open your heart to the peace that surpasses understanding, the peace that guards your heart and mind in me. Philippians 4:7. When you give thanks, you are also making space for joy. Gratitude and joy are closely connected. When you focus on the blessings in your life, no matter how small, you begin to experience a sense of joy and contentment that comes from knowing that you are loved, provided for, and cared for. This joy does not depend on your circumstances. It comes from knowing that I am with you, working all things together for your good. Gratitude is a powerful practice that has the ability to transform your heart and mind, even in the midst of chaos. It shifts your perspective, lifts your spirit, and draws you closer to me. As you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you will experience a peace that is rooted in my presence, a peace that remains steady even in the midst of life's storms. Let gratitude be the lens through which you see the world, and you will begin to recognize the many ways I am working in your life each day. My beloved, living peacefully in the midst of a chaotic life is not only possible, but also what I desire for you. I am the Prince of Peace, and I have come to give you peace, not as the world gives, but a peace that is deep and lasting. It is a peace that comes from trusting me, from letting go of worry, from resting in my presence, and from embracing gratitude. When you place your trust in me, when you release your burdens and come to me in prayer, I will give you the peace you seek. No matter how chaotic the world around you may become, my peace will guard your heart and mind. You will be able to walk through the storms of life with confidence, knowing that I am with you every step of the way. So, I invite you now to rest in my peace. Let go of the chaos, the noise, and the worry. Come to me, and I will give you rest. For my peace is yours, and it will sustain you in every season of life. I love you, and I am always with you, guiding, protecting, and giving you the peace that surpasses all understanding.